on this episode of Inside the Blueprint. Cutting-edge HR services. Expert cleaning tips from a commercial cleaning service. Comprehensive electrical solutions. Architectural revival of Chicago's skyline. Plus, lots more. As your business grows, so does the challenge of managing people. That's where the right HR and payroll partner makes all the difference.
HR is so important to an organization because it's ultimately the lifeblood of a business. You need people to make things, to sell things, to market things. People are resources. A lot of organizations consider their people to be an asset, human capital, and overseeing that is management. So that becomes human capital management. For any organization to exist, it needs to properly do two things: manage that and pay them. HR is not just payroll. It's attracting and hiring talent. It's onboarding them to introduce them to your policies, procedures, and your culture. It's managing their progress through performance, through learning, through training, and it's building an environment whereby they feel part of a team.
Lyft HCM knows no two businesses are the same. They deliver solutions tailored to each company's needs, backed by reliable support and deep industry insight.
The main purpose of Lyft HCM is to help organizations pay their people and stay in compliance with payroll tax regulations. We do this through a series of human resource and payroll products and services that we offer to everybody. Our value is built on great customer service, great client retention, and by continuing to invest in our people or technologies to help employers navigate the ever-changing landscape of employer-employee.
Lyft HCM is unique in that we offer a full suite of traditional payroll services, from payroll processing, direct deposit, time and attendance. We file employees' taxes, do their quarterlies, and year-end work like W-2s, 1099, and ACA filings. We also invest heavily in technology and talent to offer a full suite of HCM-related services for our clients. Traditionally, we have started out in the hospitality space as RPS, but over time we have invested heavily in technology to offer the same suite of services to manufacturing, education, medical, and tech sector.
Every client has their own dedicated customer service rep. So that rep is in charge of their company, so they know that company like the back of their hand. They know that they always have one dedicated person that they can count on.
From manufacturing to hospitality, Lyft HCM has a team of experts ready to support every kind of business.
My experience with Lyft so far has been great. As my business has grown, they've been able to make suggestions to me on things that could help my payroll situation, make things easier for me, help my employees, help maximize their paychecks with tax advantage type situations and things. As a small business owner, you get so much thrown at you all the time. I've really valued their ability to kind of proactively reach out to me and say, hey, this might be of interest. We can help you understand this and take advantage of it if it's going to be a fit for you.
We understand that most businesses like us aren't fit into a box, and it's important to offer solutions that best fit the client's needs and not so much what they expect to get. We know that our clients wear a lot of hats. They could be a payroll manager, an HR director, or an accounts receivable associate throughout the day. So to be able to offer a solution that best suits their needs is what we strive to do.
With over 5 decades of experience, Lyft HCM is the best choice for any company looking for a customizable HR experience and a more personal touch.
What sets us apart is our people, and our people put our clients first.
I would absolutely recommend Lyft HCM. The biggest thing for me is just a personalized service. I really love the ability to call, get a person on the phone, and get to solving my problem. As a small business owner, you wear so many hats and my time is very valuable. And when I can make time for something, I like to get the problem solved as quickly as possible, and I've always been able to achieve that with them.
The future for Lyft HCM is help our clients keep their thumb on the ground, reach for the stars. Thumb stays on the ground by keeping them in compliance, reach for the stars by offering them all the new products and services, from being paid by crypto, earned wage access, real time, and of course integrating AI any way we can.
Discover more about Lyft HCM services at lyfthcm.com or see this segment again at InsideTheBlueprint.com. In a post-COVID world, the importance of a reliable commercial cleaning service has never been more evident. When you enter a hospital, school, or any public building, you should trust it's safe and clean.
I think that's a very common misconception around our industry, that cleaning is just cleaning, but as we all know, post-pandemic, it definitely is not. We're the folks on the front line keeping workplaces safe and healthy. We're out there doing infection control and prevention and providing medical grade cleaning, which is a standard well above just cleaning.
Headquartered in Chicago, Illinois, Beine is one of the only women-owned, certified medical-grade cleaning companies in the nation.
If your corporation has a supplier diversity spend need, that will be met in contracting with Beine. We have a Beine IQ program, which is latest and greatest software that we're bringing to the table in the janitorial world, as well as Beine Signature Care program to enhance patient experience. What really makes us so effective is our training programs. We've certified all our management staff to the level of certification that hospitals do for their staff.
Beine goes beyond clean, putting infection prevention and control front and center to keep your space safe, healthy, and ready for anything.
Beine works in the healthcare sector. We work for professional sports teams and facilities, corporate, financial services, industrial, manufacturing, and private education.
I have 25 years of experience, especially in the healthcare services, and I'm also CHEST certified. Being CHEST certified means being qualified to help train our team members in the healthcare environment, especially in the hospital setting. Our training program at Beine is structured hands-on. It includes modules on infection control, equipment usage, chemical safety, floor care, terminal cleaning, and soft skills like customer service. Our team members work towards several certifications depending on their role and client requirements, including CHEST, HIPAA awareness, and infection prevention.
The training program we have at Beine sets us apart from the competition in how robust it is and how unique it is. You don't see the level of certification or investment that we've put into our management team really anywhere else. Our folks are trained and ready to go to be leaders at 400 plus hospitals if need be. We also have the state-of-the-art training center that typically you don't see unless it's at a hospital setting, but we have it here at our headquarters to train our management that can then train our crews.
Beine is our partner for our environmental services, cleaning, at our ambulatory sites across the Chicagoland area. The cleaning services that we were looking for involve surgery suites, procedure suites, infusion clinics, and office cleaning. My experience with Beine has been a very positive experience. They're very proactive in their approach to their cleaning services. They're very responsive to our needs, and they have been just a breath of fresh air.
It's imperative that you contract with a company that understands medical grade cleaning and what is cleaning and what is disinfecting and how are they training to those protocols. With our Beine IQ, we're tracking the efficiency of our cleaners, and that allows us to have them move through buildings quicker, thus providing cost savings back to the clients.
To learn more about how Beine could make a difference in the cleanliness and safety of your facility, visit their website, BeineSupport.com, or see this segment again at InsideTheBlueprint.com. Electricity is the heartbeat of every business, school, and healthcare facility. One flicker of power can change everything.
What makes healthcare facilities unique from an electrical perspective is the set of codes that are required are not only from the municipalities, but also from the state, the Department of Health.
At the core of Garden Electric is a team committed to quality, safety, and customer service. It all began with a mission to raise the standard in commercial electrical work.
Garden Electric is a full-service electrical contractor specializing in commercial, light industrial, institutional, residential, and various low-voltage communications and structured cabling. Garden Electric has evolved from having myself and a couple of technicians to having several crews of technicians and sometimes up to 20 or 30 men working on various projects. The importance of emergency power systems in healthcare facilities is to ensure the safety of the residents that reside at these locations.
We work closely with the project management teams so that we can get all the information up front before we start the job, including making sure we have all the rules and regulations in place, the requirements, government funding, tax exemptions, and so forth, because these are very crucial and we have to follow them to the T. We use a system to start the job, and that is a form that we fill out that includes all the important information. The contact people, the project management, when we submit for billing, when things are due, when their board may meet to approve payment, and accounts payable information, tax exempt information. It's all in one spot, so we know who to talk to when we need something in particular. Following this plan ensures that we have a successful project.
When lives and learning are on the line, Garden Electric brings power and peace of mind.
Healthcare is one of the most demanding sectors of electrical work because of the scrutiny taken to review the work that we install at these locations. The approach we take for the design for the emergency backup systems for the healthcare facilities is unique based on the needs that they have, and we try to take a team approach to make sure that their needs are met when we put the design together. The biggest challenge that arises when we upgrade the older buildings in these healthcare facilities is that the codes have changed since the time the building was built, so we oftentimes have to bring them up to current code.
When we're working in a hospital or nursing home, we have different codes that we have to go by. We have to not only go by the local codes, but we also have to go by the Illinois Department of Health codes. The first concern is the residents of the nursing home or the children in the school to make sure that everybody's safe and away from any construction. Then we communicate with everybody that there's possibility of outages and what they can expect. After the generators are installed, we have a load test that comes in to ensure that the generator can handle the load of the building. The generator is tested weekly to ensure that it runs, and then annually there's a load test to make sure that it can handle the load. I've been working in the electrical field for over 30 years. I like what I do, and I like serving our customers.
Garden Electric did several projects for us. The bigger project they did, it was installing the generator for us. The biggest thing that impressed us about Garden Electric is communication and keeping us informed of every step. I would totally work with Garden Electric again, and I will recommend them to other people.
Garden Electric builds systems that don't just work. They meet and exceed Illinois' toughest standards.
We have a good relationship with the local code authorities and inspectors to ensure that the job gets done on schedule and done properly. We're constantly updating ourselves on the local code changes to ensure that the projects are completed in compliance with those codes. At Garden Electric, we make sure that all of our employees know to put our clients' needs first.
To learn more about Garden Electric, visit their website, gardenelectricinc.com, or see this segment again on InsideTheBlueprint.com. Have you ever looked at the buildings that surround you? Do they remind you of a special time and place? Chicago is filled with iconic buildings and landmarks. However, age, weather, and time take their toll on these beautiful structures. Let's hear from the experts at BTL Architects, Inc. on how they're working to preserve and restore Chicago's historic buildings.
Older buildings are important to people and neighborhoods because places matter to people. If you think back to your childhood, you think about the school you went to, or the house of worship maybe you went to, or the post office, or the drugstore, or whatever it might be, but you think about the places that you went to and how those were important to you at the time. And that continues on as we get older and we live in different places. They matter to people. I think older buildings are markers of time because they were constructed at a certain date when materials and methods and craftsmanship and styles of architecture were a particular way at that time. There's lots of value in restoring historic buildings. For one, it saves a resource and a culturally significant building in the neighborhood. It brings stability to neighborhoods when older buildings are restored, and it also brings aliveness to neighborhoods where maybe an older building was abandoned or not used for a while, and it brings people back to that building and to that location, and it makes the neighborhoods more alive.
Started in 1995, BTL Architects, Inc. is focused on revitalizing and restoring buildings throughout Illinois. Their mission is to help building owners bring their buildings back to life through restoration and repair, and to continue as good stewards of their buildings going forward.
BTL Architects specializes in existing buildings, and we work for our clients to solve the problems that they're having. And a lot of the surfaces that we're working on are high up and not accessible where you can just walk right up to them. So we need to be hands-on so that we can see if there are cracks in the brick masonry or limestone, if there are failed sealants, if there's displacement or bowing or whatever might be going on with the building. There are a few issues that we see that are most common in our work. One is water leakage problems in buildings. Another one is related to corrosion of the steel that supports and attaches the building components back to the structure. Some of the construction problems that we run into in the more modern buildings are related to defects where maybe the contractor didn't install components properly. Deferred maintenance can cause a lot of damage and deterioration to the building components. Building owners need to solve these problems in order to maintain a safe and healthy environment for the occupants of the building and for the public walking on the sidewalks below.
BTL Architects is unique because we're a small, hands-on firm, and our size allows for our principal and all of us to have intimate knowledge of all the projects that everybody's working on in a very hands-on way. Working between Italy and Chicago, I've realized that there's a deep appreciation of buildings in Europe for their older building stock, but we don't need to have millennia or centuries old buildings for them to be appreciated here in Chicago. They're equally as beautiful with a diverse, multi-layered fabric of our neighborhoods and our cities that need to be preserved and restored as well.
When we start an investigation on a building, we'll start with a review of old documents that might be available to us from the owner. Oftentimes we can find original construction drawings from 1910 or 15, and those are very valuable to us to show how the building was constructed. We ride on the outside of buildings on suspended scaffolds. We do a visual inspection of the building and make inspection openings to look at the embedded steel components to figure out how and why things are deteriorating. From that point, we devise the repairs that are needed to address the situation. One thing that is very common for us is when we're doing an inspection on a building, we'll find unsafe conditions or we'll find loose material. When we find those things, we want to make sure we address them all so that we leave the building in a safe condition when we're finished. When we're doing a structural evaluation, we'll use different methods and techniques depending on the building and the conditions. One thing that is pretty common for us to do is to evaluate existing steel. So we use things to measure the steel, we do structural calculations to see if there's any concern with the structural integrity of the steel. We'll use borescopes, metal detectors, ground penetrating radar, rebar detectors, infrared cameras, and all that filters into our structural evaluation.
Aqua is located in a very windy place in Chicago. It's an 82-story building and it's difficult to access with a suspended scaffold. We were able to use drone technology to observe parts of the building we couldn't see otherwise.
BTL Architects has been involved in the inspection, investigation, and repair of the exterior of hundreds of Chicago's most iconic buildings.
One of the fun projects we recently had was working on the Aragon Ballroom, which is a prominent theater in the uptown neighborhood. We started our work on the building when a section of the parapet wall, which is the part that extends above the roof, had fallen over during a heavy snowstorm. It required the building owner to do a full inspection of the building, and during that inspection we found other conditions that needed to be repaired. We've done a lot of work around Chicago on various buildings. We've worked on Northwestern University, Museum of Science and Industry, as well as O'Hare Airport, Omni Hotel Chicago, Hyde Park Bank, and many other mid and high-rise buildings and hotels.
One of my favorite buildings in Chicago that I've worked on is the Aqua building. The repairs at Aqua are happening by us first assessing the balconies and then working with a contractor to patch the damaged concrete and seal cracks, as well as making sure the railings are safe for all of the inhabitants.
Older existing buildings have withstood the test of time. With proper maintenance and care, they continue to do so for generations.
We have a saying at BTL Architects that the greenest building is the one that's already built. And we say that because the building has already used materials from the earth. It's already constructed, it's got energy from the harvesting of the materials, mining, fabricating, all those energies are already in it. And also by keeping it as an existing alive building, we're not putting more material in the landfill. And these older buildings are often very thick walls that are more energy efficient than current buildings. With care and maintenance and repairs, these older buildings can compete and even exceed the performance of modern buildings as far as energy performance goes. At BTL Architects, we really love what we do. Everyone here loves working on the buildings that we work on. It's really fun to be up on the side of a building and figuring out what's going on. So next time you're walking down the street, I would urge you to look up at the buildings that you're walking around and see the craftsmanship and see the detail and the ornate figures. It's really fascinating.
For more information about BTL Architects, Inc., visit their website, btlarchitects.com. And of course, visit our website, insidetheblueprint.com. Most every industry depends on steel or metal. It's actually a critical component in our daily lives, and without it, our homes, cars, and structures would look very different or, in some cases, not exist at all.
Solid Metal Group is a custom steel manufacturing company located in Chicago, Illinois. We specialize in fabricating anything from thin to thick gauge steel in all industries, from appliances to construction to intermodal to railroad. With the recent boom in the metal industry, we have started providing chassis parts nationwide. There's a lack of parts for all industries due to the fact that it's more difficult to get these parts from overseas now. Solid Metal Group provides products to the oil industry, the intermodal industry, the railroad industry, and construction industry. We make signs for a lot of your local restaurants and gas stations. We've provided parts to our local airports here in Chicago, from the vaults to the expansion of O'Hare Airport, and building canopies, stairways, the whole constructional component that a new building requires.
Whether it's part of a machine or an architectural detail, Solid Metal Group has the expertise and experience to make it happen.
Recently, the industry has suffered from a terrible lack of parts due to many factors, including the pandemic and COVID, the current tariff situation regarding imports from China, as well as the ability to maintain proper workforce levels within your facility. Currently, the demand is very high for replacement parts. Lead times also are very high, as it's been very difficult to obtain the materials to create the parts that we need. SMG is excited to be able to fill the void and to supply these parts in a more timely fashion, as we manufacture them right here in the United States.
Identifying solutions to unique problems and issues, Solid Metal Group has been found to be a reliable partner.
Integrated in its core capacity as a chassis refurbisher, has been buying steel chassis components from SMG for a number of years now. Due to recent market conditions, the opportunity presented itself for us to start building new chassis from scratch. We formed a new entity called American Made Chassis. As such, we are buying full steel frames from SMG and other domestic providers, building the chassis from the ground up rather than refurbishing the old piece of equipment. We're not able to solve all the world's problems, but the one thing we can do as AMC is inject some new, high-quality, functioning chassis to the marketplace to allow, hopefully, our country to solve the supply chain crisis along with the affiliated problems it's caused.
Running smoothly and efficiently is key to ensuring that there are no delays in production.
It is very crucial and important to keep the productivity line in motion. Our clients have clients. If we delay a product, it delays them, and in results, it delays who the end product gets delivered to. It is important that we keep our machines running smoothly for the safety of our employees, as well as meeting deadlines for our clients. There's a great satisfaction in seeing a final product, whether it's a building or when I'm driving down the highway and there's a chassis next to me. You get this feeling of joy, like you contributed to something in society, as minor as it may be. You know that you're a part of something, and you see it out there. The steel manufacturing industry is such an amazing industry, and with today's equipment being so up to date, it allows and opens a door for our youth to come in and be able to be a part of this. We have 80-foot plasmas, 3D steel printers, press brakes, robotic welders, and I would really like to open that door to our local community and invite all the youth to come in, whether it be from welding to designing to drafting. Whatever your passion is, the steel industry opens that door to you, and I would like to show our youth that.
For more information about Solid Metal Group, visit their website, solidmg.com. And of course, visit our website, insidetheblueprint.com. For more information about anything you've seen on today's show or to become part of Inside the Blueprint, go to our website, insidetheblueprint.com.